Hi, I'm Kristin Morrison, and I'm from Caledon, Ontario. And like some others here today, I will focus on my greatest concern, which is for the health and safety of our children and future generations. Although the World Health Organization has reclassified radio frequency,
yes, I was just on the panel and they could not hear me.
Our society is
they could hear me, but it was
ever before. In addition to home routers, cordless phones, baby monitors, and smart meters, Wi-Fi routers are being installed at Canadian schools, and school boards are promoting Bring Your Own Device campaign. Sent home in my son from school. They are encouraging children as young as 4 years of age in kindergarten to bring wireless devices, including smartphones, tablets, and laptops, to school. Now, for the first time in history, children are exposed to electromagnetic radiation at school for many hours a day, 5 days per week, over 200 days per year. Why is this unprecedented level of exposure to electromagnetic radiation happening? Because Canada's Safety Code 6 says it's okay. As you know, symptoms of electrosensitivity are associated with exposure to electromagnetic radiation. Because school boards have refused to provide accommodation, homeschooling becomes the only option for some electrosensitive children. And this can really be quite upsetting to some kids who prefer to be a part of the school community but can't. In addition to symptoms of electrosensitivity such as headaches and heart palpitations, we also know that conduct problems are being linked to exposure in children and adolescents. Unfortunately, numerous attempts to get school boards to use wired as opposed to wireless connections have been futile. The board's answer is always the same. We get our direction from Health Canada, and Canada's Safety Code 6 says devices are safe for children. Sadly, some of the challenges we see children experience may be as a result of fetal exposure. Studies show that children with mothers that used a cell phone during pregnancy were much more likely to be hyperactive, have emotional or behavioral problems, and experience trouble getting along with other kids. Why are there no warnings for pregnant women? The answer is the same, because Canada's Safety Code 6 says it's okay. The area of fertility has also been explored, and adverse effects on sperm counts, motility, viability, and structure have been shown. One study reported that human sperm samples exposed for only 4 hours to a wireless internet-connected laptop showed a significant decrease in sperm motility and increase in DNA fragmentation. All of this research is telling us that there's cause for concern. You even see newspaper headlines nowadays, and they read things like, if you want to have kids, keep your cell phone out of your pocket. Yet our children continue to be encouraged by school boards to bring these same cell phones and laptops to school. Why is this happening? Because Canada's Safety Code 6 says it's okay. One of the most concerning effects of exposure is the development of cancer. The International Association for Research on Cancer advised that studies show an association between glioma and acoustic neuroma and mobile and cordless phone use. Researchers contend that recent analysis from the Hardell Group, not considered in the World Health Review, strengthen grounds for concluding from cellular and cordless phones is a probable carcinogen. Experts have been telling us for years that children are especially vulnerable. The brain of a child under 8 years of age absorbs double the amount of radiation of the brain of an adult. A recent study showed that those who use a cordless or mobile phone before age 20 have a greater than 4-fold risk of ipsilateral glioma. These are the same mobile phones that school boards are instructing our children to bring to school because Canada's Safety Code 6 says it's okay. Indeed, there are numerous studies indicating adverse effects from exposure to electromagnetic radiation, especially for children. But what are scientists, medical groups, and governments doing with this information? The Parliamentary Assembly Council of Europe released Resolution 1815, which includes restrictions on Wi-Fi in schools and the use of mobile phones by children. With regards to standards for emissions, PACE recommends the ALARA principle, which stands as low as reasonably achievable. The American Academy of Pediatrics, representing 60,000 pediatricians, is calling for updated safety levels, pointing out that children absorb more radiation due to their thin skulls and developing brains. Medical doctors in Germany, in their Freiburger appeal, suggest a ban on mobile and cordless phones in schools. The Austrian Medical Chamber, representing 40,000 doctors, recommends Wi-Fi free schools. The International Society of Doctors for the Environment recommends avoiding Wi-Fi and using wired connections whenever possible. The American Academy of Environmental Medicine has taken time to write directly to school boards, urging them not to install the Wi-Fi routers and not to direct children to use wireless devices. Switzerland, France, Germany, and Israel are taking action to stop the installation of Wi-Fi in schools. Even telecommunication companies are responding to the research. Although it takes a magnifying glass to read them, they are issuing warnings to keep wireless devices away from your body. So, the question for our review panel becomes, what are you going to do? Our government has asked you to make recommendations that will ensure the health and safety of all Canadians. We hope that you will join your colleagues in science and medicine around the world by recommending significantly more protective limits and precautionary measures. We hope that as a result of your review, the public becomes aware of the risks associated with electromagnetic radiation exposure, especially for children. We hope that as a result of your review, children will be able to enjoy the benefits of a public education without being subjected to a possible carcinogen. Your group is in a special position to have an impact. For the sake of our children, we're counting on you to do the right thing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Any comments? Brian?
You mentioned the statistic that kids under 8, I think you said 8, absorb double the amount.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the paper that's actually shown that?
I wrote a 4-page submission, and it's in there. Yes, can't remember. Probably some people here might even know where that's from. You've got it on your stepper? Yeah.
Can you go back to the flyer?
Sure.
Can I clarify that was provided by the teacher for your child, or was it a school board-wide initiative to encourage children to bring them devices to school?
This is a school board initiative. It's the Peel Board of Education, and so they spent a lot of money to make these flyers, and it's explaining to families with children aged kindergarten to grade 12 all about the different wireless devices that they can bring to school, and they show pictures here of laptops, tablets, smartphones, iPad touches, notebooks, and they're basically saying it's safe. They don't have to buy the computers that the people do. But hopefully this review will help increase awareness and precautions can be taken so that this doesn't happen. We have tried, as I mentioned, to talk to the school boards, but they just say, oh, it's not up to us. It's all about Safety Code 6, and we'll just watch what happens with that. So.
Anybody else know of any information coming in from the universities? Because at Queen's, it's now mandatory for all MES to have laptops coming. Engineers and so on. So is there any data coming out of that kind of environment about effects of Wi-Fi?
Yes, there was a Yale study. Have you seen the Yale study? I believe it was. If it's Deborah, no, she. I believe it was the one with the. Is that the one with the mice? The mice. Inattention, yes. It's, changes in neuronal programming. So that's also in my 4-page submission, and that came from Yale.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.